Hey everyone, it's Bo York, executive producer for Protestery Studios. We are in the final week, that's right, the final week for our Kickstarter campaign for The Pirate's Daughter. I'm not going to lie, we got a long way to go, so we really need you to head over to findeversale.com, that's findeversale.com, to learn more about this project. And if you haven't heard our trailer for this immersive audio drama, head over there today. You can listen to it, get a little taste of this world. Again, that's findeversale.com. Head over there today and help make this show happen. What's up, everybody? It's Bo here with another Andor TV Talk. All right, Daughter of Ferrix. So we knew that Cassian, the Empire was kind of keeping an eye out on Cassian's mom, her health situation, knowing that this was probably going to be the thing that is going to bring him back home and give him the opportunity to capture him, because it would seem they're really after, I guess, the Fulcrum. Or I guess they don't call him Fulcrum, do they? I forget what his name is, but basically Skarsgård. They're after Skarsgård. And they want to get to him through Cassian. So the death of his mother, the funeral, we find out that she's part of this organization called the Daughters of Ferrix, that there's a lot of to do about her funeral. That we actually learn a little bit about kind of the funeral practices of this planet. That they, you burn, they grind up your ash, they turn you into a brick, and now you're part of the construction, part of the building that's going on there. It's kind of interesting. We also, in this episode, got a little bit of what's going on with the Empire. With the guy that was obsessed with them from the first episode, he's been kind of trickled throughout. He doesn't really have, I know his arc has been that he really wants to go hard in the paint for the Empire, but we don't really see much beyond that. We just see he's living with his mom. He's got a crush on the ISB, and that's about it. ISB lady, by the way, she is on top of things. She's got everything kind of coming together. She's been working the system, doing all the math, doing all the equations, and it does look like she's going to have her opportunity to potentially capture Cassian. I wonder what is her end game, though. I know that she's just obsessed with doing a good job for the Empire and just being the bestest ISB agent out there. But beyond that, what is it that she's really after? I don't know. The little robot dude, B something or another, that I know a lot of people think that maybe his processing unit is going to go into the one that's in the movie and everything else. And I don't know if that's the case or not, but he's got that wounded, previously abused dog thing that's been going on. And then on top of that, now, his owner has passed away and he's trying to process this, and he doesn't seem to be able to process this, and he just wants to stay in his home one more night. I actually thought the kindness that the other characters were treating the little robot guy with was really, it was genuine, and it gave this universe a deeper heart in the way in which they treat their droids, because we've seen droids treated as, very disposable with the battle droids. We've seen them as kind of dismissive and disrespected, for C-3PO and that sort of thing. And then we've kind of seen that the kindness and tenderness almost exclusively ends up being for the least humanoid droids. And this is probably one of the least humanoid droids that we've gotten on screen. Even BB-8 and R2-D2 have a little bit of a baby-esque look to them. I think that was part of the design aesthetic to both their look, their feel, but then also their voice. And so to have something here that is essentially kind of a trash can, a red trash can, and give it this hurt, wounded voice, and then give it the movements of a scared, abused animal, is a really, really fascinating approach to a droid. We see the Biggs is still captured and still being tortured. They're all after this rebel that ultimately Skarsgård is trying to essentially sacrifice so he can maintain his connections to the ISB, his guy on the inside, so to speak. I liked the confrontation that was kind of brought to the head between Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker's character, whose name I'm blanking on right now. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's a mini. This is what we do. Gerrera. Okay, sorry, just blanking there for a minute. It's been a lot going on. Anyway, point is, Gerrera confronts him about the fact that he's going to basically waste this dude, let him die for the sake of what? And that's what Gerrera's kind of line of questioning is. And they see this confrontation between these two powerhouses in the formation of what will be the Rebel Alliance, as they, are trying to figure out, can I trust you? Why can I trust you? Why can I not trust you? Where can I not trust you? And, I think that we're seeing maybe in the midst of this distrust, maybe a stronger bridge of trust going in with these two. It was interesting to see how Saw Gerrera was even wrestling with this notion, right? On the one hand, it's not that Saw Gerrera is very comfortable with the darker shades of morally gray. I think for him, it was less calling him out from any kind of moral righteousness and more for self-preservation. Hey, you're feeding us the information. How do I know you're not going to feed us the information that's going to lead to our capture, imprisonment, or otherwise? And so seeing these guys butt heads, I thought was really good. We also get more of a look into Mon Mothma's family dynamics, specifically with her daughter. And some of the things that we've seen throughout, the tensions that exist in those relationships are kind of coming more to fruition. We see the cyclical nature of, kind of like ultra-conservative parent leads to kind of more liberal children, and then liberal children grow up into be liberal parents, which, lead to sometimes these ultra, conservative children. And it's this back and forth. It's this tension that exists. And you kind of see that happening with Mon Mothma's daughter, who has kind of found her identity in, subscribing to the old ways of their planet, which we don't really know about, but it's kind of hinted at that have kind of a less than egalitarian approach to the way in which women function in their society. So, I mean, I'm curious to see how that all plays out. But at the same time, maybe it's not playing out. Maybe this is really, we've gotten scattered throughout this entire series, just this seasoning here, seasoning there. This is a little bit about this planet, this culture, this thing, this, that, all these little side characters. They're just getting like seasoning sprinkled all over. It's less about connecting those aspects into something that's going to play into the story as a whole, and more about telling the world or kind of showcasing the universe that Star Wars is at this era in time. I think that's fascinating. I think it's one of the best parts about Andor. Now, we do know that a lot of these stories are going to congeal in some form or fashion, probably next week, all things considered, but we don't quite yet know how. I mean, this does seem to be the birth of what we come to know by A New Hope as the Rebel Alliance, but how is that all going to take place? I'm very much looking forward to see. So overall, another really great episode. That's going to do it for me for today, though. Hey, if you are liking this podcast, be sure to head over to iTunes, write us a review. It's a great thing to do. Also, we are down to the last 2 days of the last few days of the Find Eversail, the Pirate's Daughter, Find Eversail Volume 1 Kickstarter campaign. So if that is a series that you want to see happen, this is your last chance to kind of cast your vote with your money, so to speak. So head over there, findeversail.com. Again, that is findeversail.com. Would love to have your support. Just check it out, even if you're not going to support it. Learn a little bit about this project that we would love to bring to the light of day. But again, that is going to do it for me for this week, but don't worry, I'll be back in a flash. From Podastery Studios and executive producer Bo York.
Were we followed?
Not anymore.
Eversail Volume 1, The Pirate's Daughter, invites you into the family drama of the dread pirate lord Captain Blackstone, whose fateful decision to turn his child over to the Church of the Carver will haunt them both for a lifetime.
Stella, you may come to hate me for this. Your hate will help you survive than hate me. But believe me when I say, I don't want to do this.
Then don't. I want to go home.
This is your home now. Take her.
Come with me, child.
No.
We were never here.
Born a pirate and raised by the church, Stella returns now 15 years later to confront the father that abandoned her to a life of piety.
Shaka, have you seen my good Briar? This mart has been waterlogged.
Captain Blackstone.
Daughter, I suppose this was inevitable.
Confusion and turmoil churn as a maelstrom in the heart of this young woman, so defined by her trauma that she's found herself lost, not knowing who she truly is.
I intend to take my vows, and I cannot do so until I've made peace with you.
Is that all?
Is that... I sailed for 3 days to speak with you.
And you have? Do you need that in writing?
It isn't that simple.
It can be, if that's what you want.
Meanwhile, across the 5 seas, a young upstart pirate lord, Captain Ratch, seeks to establish a new age of high seas piracy, uniting all that fly a black flag into a nation of pirates, with himself as the king of thieves.
This Ratch, why is he ordering a black council?
As a daughter-in-waiting to the Carver, I can't imagine such things are your concern. Jennings!
Here, Captain. Ah, the nun. Want me to toss her in the rowboat?
That remains to be seen.
Help us bring this series, Eversail Volume 1, The Pirate's Daughter, to life by visiting findeversail.com and supporting our Kickstarter today. That's findeversail.com to support The Pirate's Daughter on Kickstarter today.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.